Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. My name is Grey Eagle Sim Pilot. I'm a real world A320 captain, bringing my love for aviation and flight simulation together for all of your wonderful people out there. Welcome to this beautiful morning here in Montreal, Canada. We're going to be taking this beautiful looking Trans-Canada Airlines A319 down to Detroit, and let me tell you, this livery looks beautiful in the sim. However, as someone who has seen this livery in real life up close and personal, let me tell you, it looks even better in real life. The sim just does not do the silver or gray. It's in real life, it's more of like a silver color, but it does not do the silver color any justice here in the simulator. It absolutely shines, this livery. Very retro with the cheat line going through the windows there, and I just absolutely love the logo here, the Trans-Canada logo with the maple leaf. Absolutely amazing there. However, I won't hold us up any longer. Without further ado, let's hop on into the flight deck here and get things started up. We'll go ahead first and load in our flight plan. No flight plan, huh? Or my sim's gonna freeze and crash. Wouldn't that just be something? No flight plan. I don't think there's a flight. Okay. Well, let's go down here then. Let's see. I have no clue why that's on that page. That's completely random. There is a company message, so maybe just maybe we have it did uplink here, and let's see if we have our prelim. Yeah, we do have our prelim load sheet. Okay, so that's good. We will accept that. Okay. All right. Let's go up top to the overhead here. We'll get IR 1, 2, and 3 going. We'll come all the way down to our recorder ground control. We'll turn that on. I'll turn the sim volume up there a little bit for us. There we go. Excellent. Should be a little bit more audible. Go ahead and test the CVR. That sounds good. Everything else on the left side looks good here. We'll go test engine fire 1. Sounds good. The APU. And engine fire 2. Hold on, I realized just right about now, I don't know why you can't hear ATC. ATC is online. We do have full ATC from here all the way down to Detroit. Let me, okay, well, that makes sense there. There we go. Now you should be able to hear the ATC. Did I test engine fire 2? If I did, we'll do it again. Does not matter. There we go. We're doubly good there. Hydraulic panel looks good. Fuel panel all looks good. The electrical panel is set. Air conditioning panel is all set there. Anti-ice, everything is extinguished with the probe window heat and auto. Cabin pressurization is in auto with the ditching hatch, or with the ditching switch extinguished and guarded there. Let's go ahead and begin the startup of our APU. Excellent. All of our external lights look good. Sorry, I kind of got ahead of myself there. External lights look good. APU's coming online. We'll go ahead and arm the emergency exit lights coming on up to the right hand side of the overhead. The PA is on and to the 3 o'clock-ish position. VHF 3 is in data on the observers RMP. Flight control panel looks good. Cargo heat looks good. Cargo smoke. Ventilation all looks good. The engine panel looks good. And both of our wipers are off. That all looks good here. Coming on down to the glare shield. From left to right, we have all of our push buttons extinguished. Let me double check the altimeter here. There we go. 2976 is what it is. So we'll set that once, twice, and thrice. There we go. Flight director's on. Altimeter is set. Constraints. Arc 10 nautical miles. We don't need the VOR or ADS. That should be good. In the center FCU here, we have numbers or digits displayed in the window here. Heading, vertical speed with all the push buttons extinguished. Coming on over to the first officer, CFIS. Same thing. We don't need the VOR ADF. 10 nautical miles arc. Constraints. We have the current altimeter setting is set. Flight director is on. And all of his push buttons are extinguished over there. Coming on down to the main instrument panel on the captain side. PFD is on the left. ND is on the right. ISIS is aligned. Our upper and lower ECAM displays are in the correct orientation there. The brake fan is off. Landing gear is showing down with 3 green. Anti-skid missile steering is on. Our date and time is mostly correct there. Landing gear is down with no red arrow on the first officer's instrument panel. ND is on the left. PFD is on the right. We can adjust the brightness however we see fit there. The FMGC on the left-hand side, we have CFM 56-5B6 engines with the current database. That all looks good. We've already started the initialization process there. On the RMP, I got tower and departure, so that is good. ACP all looks good. Our integral lighting is set how I would like it, at least for now. Radar is off. Predictive wind shear is off. Coming up to the center instrument panel here, we'll go ahead and check our engine oil. That looks good. Hydraulics, all are within our fill range. No class 2 status messages. 1800 psi on the oxygen. That looks good. We'll go ahead and press and hold the recall button here. Normal. We'll clear it. That looks good. Trim is at 0. Thrust lever is at idle. Engine master is off. Engine mode is norm. Our speed brakes are disarmed. Flaps are up. We have digits in the rudder trim window here, and our gravity gear extension is stowed. Our first officer's FMGC looks good. ACP is set, or RMP is set, ACP is also set, and we have a squawk of 6514 assigned by ATC. I will go ahead and check our alternate braking system. I'll press both brakes, release the parking brake. I'll depress the left brake and press it back down again. Looks good. Right brake, back down and up again. That all looks good. All right. Let's go ahead and get our tablet here. We're going to be Air Canada 3318. We're going to be going to Montreal to Detroit. Pittsburgh is the alternate. There is a squall line approaching Detroit. So, I mean, we should be able to make it in, but if not, we'll just divert to Pittsburgh. I don't have a third-party scenery for Pittsburgh. So if we do end up diverting there, it's going to be a very, very basic-looking airport. Let's see. A cost index of 5. We'll go ahead and put that in there. We'll be cruising along at an altitude of 34,000 feet. That should be plenty good there. An ISA deviation of plus 11. That's going to be 30 degrees. Excellent. Temperature is 29 degrees. Nice and warm up there. All right, 29 degrees. We'll go ahead and put that in there. We'll go over to page number 2. We're looking for a zero fuel weight of 117.5 with a zero fuel weight CG of 27.8 and a block fuel of 20.2. There we go. Go ahead and zero that out. Our alternate time, we'll look down here, Pittsburgh 3.6. We should have plenty of fuel on board. Arrival fuel 12.1. So more than enough fuel to sit and hold over near Detroit if we need to, should storms be passing through there. Excellent. So let's go ahead and get to our flight plan. We're expecting 2 for rate for departure, so they want on the Montreal for departure. We'll go ahead and insert that. Detroit is landing on the 2221s. Let me see. Let me try to pull up an ATIS real quick.
Take up 24 right, departures airborne for Western 514.
21 left and 22 right. So I'm gonna plan on 21 left for arrival.
24 right, altimeter 2976, taxi Bravo 4, Charlie, hold short.
And we're gonna be on the Top Gun 2 arrival. So we'll go ahead and put the Top Gun
Bravo 4, Charlie, hold short, Echo,
2 arrival with BOPTA transition. Oh, that's right there, right in front of my face. There we go. We'll go ahead and insert that. Excellent. We'll go back to initialization, uplink our winds, go over to the performance page here. Have no clue why that's doing that, but we'll select 24 right. Everything else looks good. Okay. Estimate takeoff weight of 137.2, so we'll say 139.2. And our CG, what did I say our CG was going to be? Or is it zero fuel weight or Mac? It's 26.0 is what that should be.
Taxi right, west line, north ramp, for Bravo 4.
26.0. All of that looks good. We won't take credit for any headwind. Excellent. And we will calculate that out. Looks excellent. 149.49.52 with a flex of 68. It's a flaps 1 takeoff. That all looks good there. We got 149.152, flex 68. Let's move on over to our last page here. Excellent. And I'm going to put 290 in the descent phase. And we'll go ahead and copy our active over here. We can go on and begin loading up the aircraft now. If it actually will. I do not know why this is doing that. Okay. That's weird. Is the other iPad doing it? No. That is so weird. Okay, so one iPad is doing it, but the other iPad is working perfectly fine. Okay, so we'll put that away. We'll just use this one. So I'll go ahead and get these open. And we'll begin the boarding process. Load aircraft. There we go. Boarding and fuel via GSX. 120 passengers. That all looks good. What I will do is we will go ahead and get the external power off. We'll get the APU bleed air on. This is going to be slightly annoying to have to go over to this iPad here. However, I can now disconnect the GPU, so that's good. Excellent. It does look like we have a few people online this afternoon. Max Reason says, how are you doing, Max Reason? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're having a fantastic there. The average Canadian Avgeek. Hello, how are you doing? Did you change your name again? Weren't you Canadian Aviation or Canadian Avgeek? Canadian Aviation? It's like the second time you've changed your name, I think. Either way, hello, hello, hello. How are you doing this evening? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Eagle's Nest. Alright, I had to turn my headset volume down a little bit there, because it is insanely loud. Uh-oh. Because I had to switch gates, I don't have this configured for narrow-bodies. Let me guess, it's gonna use the pallet loader. Yeah, it's gonna use the pallet loader. That's okay. No, it has the belt loaders. Okay, there we go. it's just we're getting fuel. Are the boat loaders going to come up? There's an Air Transat A321 Neo, absolutely beautiful. We have another Air Transat A321, absolutely amazing. Two Air Transat side by side right there. Things are really busy here in Montreal this evening, completely different than it was yesterday. So absolutely glad to see that it is a very busy evening here in Montreal. You gotta love it when you got ATC online. You have people flying in, flying out, everyone doing their own little thing there. I really hope that we're gonna load bags too, right? Like we are gonna load bags, right? Because thus far, I only see one baggage loader. Or one person in a baggage loader. I don't know where this guy went. He's gone. That's okay. Oh, wow. You can see the people going down the aisle. That's kind of cool as well. I just noticed that. I don't have, like, passengers. I don't have the seated passengers, but, you know, it is what it is. I guess we're not loading up any cargo. Alright, enough looking at the airplane there. Max Racing says, just doing some private pilot studying. Oh, wow. Are you coming up on the written exam there, Max Racing? If so, I know that can be... It is quite the test. A lot of questions in that question bank that you'll have to answer. But the more times you practice taking that test, the better off you're going to be doing there. I'll let you know if I have a question. Aviation Geek says, no, I'm a different person. I love Montreal. Just flown in. They're from Orlando. Are you in, like, IRL? You flew in to Montreal from Orlando on IRL or on a flight sim there? Seeing you have the Montreal package. Nice. I love Air Transat as well. Yes, the Air Transat livery. I love this blue. Like, it's a very nice looking livery there. But also, this airport looks spot on. There we go. In case you didn't know where we were, we're in Montreal. This livery is a spot on. Absolutely gorgeous looking livery. It's great on the frames. I don't really have any issues in terms of, like, you know, a lot of people like to simulate the inside of the airport. And this simulates a little bit of the inside, but not all of it, right? So there we go. Here's the main gate area down here, and this is what it will look like pretty much in real life. It's just like this. I guess our boarding area would be down here. Look at there. Boom. Got someone taking a look out the window. That chat, real life right here. Real life right here. Average Canadian Av Geek. Let me know. Let me know if this is what it looks like in IRL. Because I am pretty certain, like, I mean, minus there's like no shops here, right? But that's fine. But if you're looking out this way, this is exactly what you would see, minus the people's head popping out from the jet bridge there. If you were actually in Montreal right now. Absolutely beautiful. All right. Here we go. Back onto the flight deck. Let me get the drone back outside. Well, I guess we're not loading up any cargo. I don't know. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get a briefing here. Why do I have another company message?
And Transat 32 is ready to taxi.
Transat 32, turn 2 right turns, taxi north ramp, hold short echo.
Oh, is it because I loaded up the iPad from the other side as well? Very interesting. So we'll accept that and return. All right. So Let's go ahead and ask our ghost FOs if they're ready for a briefing. They say yes, yes, indeed. There we go. What are your threats? The biggest threat will be taxiing out and around here, but it should be pretty straightforward. Let me go ahead and bring that up. Excellent. Nope, why is that Toronto? Why did that not load the correct flight? Unload, import from SimBrief. There we go. Wow. There we go. So I think it'll be either Bravo 4 or Echo. Since they were using Bravo 4 inbound, I'm thinking the Echo is going to be the outbound. So we'll take Echo and Bravo down to the end of 24 right. When we do get down there, plan on a flaps 1 flex, standard reject considerations. Do you have any questions about what we need to reject for? It looks like a 737 just spawned in on top of someone. No questions about the standard reject considerations? Excellent. Should we lose an engine after V1? We'll continue straight ahead to 4,000 feet, clean up the aircraft with the ECAM, and then plan on an emergency return runway of 24 right here in Montreal. Otherwise, we'll continue out on the Montreal 4, which is going to be radar vectors. See, straight ahead, runway vector, radar vectors to our first fix. Ooh, I didn't see what our altitude was. Okay. Is there an altitude in here? Maintain 5,000 feet. Excellent. 5,000 is going to be the top altitude. We have departure frequency set here and a squawk of 6514. And the last thing I need to do is tell Tower our identifier.
Canada 319, Montreal Tower PDC code is good. Departure on 12465. Pushback nose facing east. Advise ready to taxi.
Okay, we'll push back nose east and departure is 12465, Canada 219.
Air Canada 822, line up runway 248. Line up runway 248, Air Canada 822.
Tower, Air Canada 3318, identifier 783 India.
Air Canada 3318, Montreal Tower PDC is good. And formation Echo and departure on 12465. Advise ready for pushback.
We'll advise for Air Canada 3318. Excellent. In flight sim you flown. Okay, flown in Air Transact 737 Max. I know they don't operate a 737 anymore. Oh, did they used to operate a 737? All I know from Air Transat is they operate pretty much just Airbuses. I know they used to operate even the A3. They used to be like one of the only A300 or A310 operators left in the in North America there. So, but I think those are gone now. I think they retired those. They're pretty much a A321 airline. So. You said, yeah, it looks pretty decent, maybe missing on details on the walls and some minor stuff. Yeah, I mean, and I don't mind that, simply because of the fact that that I'm not getting terrible frames out of this. I do not like it when they try to include, every single shop and every single thing there. That it kind of drains your frames, but there we go. So yeah, I mean, they do have some shops, but they're not gonna, obviously not all the shops, which I absolutely don't mind. So there we go. Oh, here we go. This is the escalator that takes you upstairs, and then once you go upstairs, it doesn't look like this, but it is what it is. And that'll take you all the way down to customs. So you got customs upstairs, boarding area downstairs, and definitely upstairs you don't have people just standing around, but it is what it is. It is good enough to sell the illusion there. So let's go back inside. We did a briefing. Let's go ahead and make sure our route is correct. So I'll bring that up on our tablet. And we'll go plan 10 nautical miles. Excellent. So off a 24 right, we said it's going to be runway heading pretty much. We'll get vectors to Keska, then Savex, then Canur, direct to Kier. We'll pick up the Quebec 806. And we will take that all the way to Bopta. Bopta is going to be the transition on the Top Gun 2 arrival. We'll plan on 2-1 left, not 2-2 right, into Detroit. Let's see, 485 miles. We're looking at 495 miles, so that is that looks good to me. We'll go ahead and put that back. It looks like we have our fuel. 20.2 is what's required, so we'll get our fuel pumps on. Excellent. I will go ahead and turn on the fasten seatbelt sign as well. EFIS looks good. FCU looks good. Our parking brake is on. That's check. ACP looks good. RMP looks good. We'll go to data, position monitor. And we'll bring up our Navigraph chart here. We'll hide that. And we're looking for 4528.2. We got 4527.6 and 073 44.5, 073 45.0. That's close enough for me. We're pretty much right on Montreal. We'll put terrain on ND. The ND looks good. Oh, see someone taking off on 24 right there. PFD, we have V1, V2, climate nav or blue, flight directors 1 and 2. And our oxygen has been tested. Excellent. I'll zoom you back out. We can go ahead and actually I'll put you over here. There we go. Let's run before start checklist, shall we? The recorder ground control is on. The flight forms and maintenance log on board. Accepted aircraft 264. Fuel quantity 20.2 required. We have 20.1 on board. Takeoff performance. We're looking at 149, 152 with a flex of 68. Our oxygen is checked. Seatbelt sign is on. ECAM is checked. Well, no, it hasn't been checked, has it? So let's go. Fuel on board, balanced with the pumps on. Hydraulics within the fill range there. Pressurization auto with the appropriate landing altitude. Engine oil, all looks good. So now the ECAM is checked. Parking brake is on and checked. MCDU is set. Altimeters, we have 2976. Departure briefings reviewed. The before start checklist is complete. Do you live in Canada? No. Average Canadian epic. I do not live in Canada. However, I do have on the wife's side of the family, Canadian family. So there we go. That's I married a Canuck there. Speaking of which, the 50% of our the little eagles, the little gray eagles, eaglets, if you will, are on their way up to Canada now. They're going to be spending, the in-laws will be spending a few weeks up there on a beautiful lake in the middle of nowhere for about 2 months. So there we go. Alrighty, I heard a ding. I think that means we're done. Yes. Yes, it does. All right, so we'll go ahead and get rid of that. We'll get the beacon light on. And they have the 321 CEO. Do they have Neos? I thought Air Transit had the Neos as well. 321 Neo and A330. Yeah, okay, so they do. Okay, so they're 321 and 330 airline. Okay. Okay. I definitely have seen the 321s around. I don't know if I've really seen the 330s flying around, but I have definitely seen the 321s that they have. So they ooh, look, the airplane's getting lifted up there. Wow, that's kind of cool that you can see that. And Max Racing, I don't know if I'll be able to answer any of your questions, but if you do have any, just drop into the chat there. I'll try my best to answer your private pilot questions there. It's been such a long time since I've one taught and two have gone through my private, but I will try my best. Alrighty, let's go ahead and request our push and start. We're here on gate 50. I think it is. Yep. All right. The tower, Air Canada 3318, ready for push and start, gate 50.
Air Canada 3318, push back, nose facing east, advise ready to taxi.
Alrighty, we'll push back, nose facing east, and advise for Air Canada 3318. Alrighty. So, nose facing east, which would be nose to the left if we put ourselves in nav mode. There's east. So, we'll do that.
Air Transit 92 is ready for
bring up GSX. Continue the pushback. Nose left.
I'm not showing you on the ground.
There we go. We'll release the parking brake. I'll bring the volume up there. And we will start at will, apparently.
About 92, got you now. Pushing traffic beside you, so hold your push. I'll call you right back.
hold push Air Transit 92.
Ooh, I wonder if that's the guy right beside me that Air Transit 92.
Good evening, WestJet 579 with identifier 946 Victor. We were looking for the push and start.
WestJet 579, tower, PDC is good. Departure on 12465. Hold position, I'll call you right back.
Yeah, that's the guy right beside me. They're going to Toronto, so they're doing the flight we did last night.
Hey, Canada 3318, once the push is completed, you able to pull forward? I believe gate 50, have another push to release from 52.
I don't know if I could work that out, but it won't take long after we're done pushing back here to request our taxi.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the CFMs, which are pretty quick at starting up, so should not be an issue. Alrighty, brake set cleared to disconnect the interphone. I'm very interested to see. I guess he's gonna take us out the east side and then bring us back around. So I think what the taxi plan will be is to go down here and back around to Echo, or probably Alpha and Juliet and Echo, something like that. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna bring up the ramp on my other monitor here. Excellent. I'll bring the sim volume back down.
Visual runway 24 left.
Canada 6A, Montreal Tower. Good.
There we go. There's my guy.
You're all good with the approach?
We have a salute. Excellent. Flaps 1.
Yep, we're gonna be fine.
Canada 6.
Yep, we're gonna be fine. That sounds convincing.
Clear to land 24 left, Air Canada 6. Tower, look at Air Canada.
Alrighty. After start checklist. Engine anti-ice, we don't need statuses checked, and the rudder trim is 0 after start checklist is complete. Let's go ahead and call ready for taxi.
American 4661, safe parking. Your discretion, American 4661. American 4651, Roger, I'll bring you to the American gate, so taxi north ramp and east line.
117.5.
Gate 81.
That looks good.
North ramp.
And we're at 30.4.
Clockwise, ramp 81, American 4661.
Charlie again, Canada 8944, identifier 603 Delta, request push and start for runway 24 right.
Canada 8944, PDC is good, departure on 12465. ADS information is Foxtrot, push straight out, advise ready to taxi.
Departure 12465, altimeter 2976, push straight out, advise ready to taxi. Air Canada 8944.
Montreal tower.
Alright, I'll get in when I can, I guess.
74 short final, runway 24 left. Speed 160 knots to reduce.
Canada 74, Montreal Tower, good evening.
Oh, that's very interesting. I did not hear that alert. Let me try that again.
Clear for landing, runway 24.
No? Why aren't my alerts working?
Exit right at the end and say parking.
Because it's not on.
Looking for 59er Air Canada.
There we go. There we go. Sir William, thank you very much for your subscription. I really do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're able to move forward?
Yeah, could I get some, like...
Did not know that it was... So it should have gone on automatically when I started the stream. I have no clue why that did not turn on.
6 months, so straight ahead, that's the north ramp. On the north ramp, hold short Bravo 4.
I should have had on the north ramp and then hold short Bravo 4, making 4661, thank you.
Air Canada 6, follow that American that's off your right on the north ramp to gate 59.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sir William. Welcome to the Eagle's Nest. Hopefully you're having a fantastic morning or afternoon or evening wherever you are. Hello Tower, Air Canada 3318 is ready to taxi. Information Echo.
Canada 3318, it is now Foxtrot to follow a company 777 that just exited the runway, taxi north ramp and hold short Echo.
We'll taxi north ramp, short Echo behind the 777, Air Canada 3318. Alrighty, so this is the guy that just exited the runway there, so we will go ahead and follow them.
Pilot 982, push back facing west and release a beam gate 49. Advise ready to taxi.
Push back facing west and advise ready to taxi.
So essentially what we're going to do is follow this line. It goes off to the left here. We will take that left and essentially make a U-turn around this little terminal right here.
Canada 3318, so turn the transponder on as well, please.
Sorry, there you go, Canada 3318. Thought I had that on a long time ago.
Air Canada 8944, request taxi and we'll be performing an IDP 1.
Canada 8944, Roger, check in ADP 1, turn right, taxi for the west line and north.
Alright, so 777 is off to our left. Looks like they're holding short right now as well. We will hold short of Echo until we get further instructions.
Oh, Jazz 7944, holding 24 right at Bravo. Jazz 7944, contact departures when airborne, clear for takeoff, runway 24 right. Clear for takeoff, after departure when airborne, Jazz 7944.
Alright, we're clear off to the left here.
Gate 85, identifier 726 Bravo information, Fox request pushback.
Rouge 80, Christian, Rouge 8823.
I really want to know why the models aren't loading in with landing gear.
Advise ready to taxi.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I don't know why. Alrighty, so we'll make this left-hand turn, hold short of Echo on the north ramp. So, there we go.
Rouge 8823, just give it there, Canada. They're about to pass behind you.
Give way there, Canada, Rouge 8823.
No one's on the gates over here, right? Nope. Okay.
Canada 74, runway 24 left clear.
Canada 74, roger, stay parking.
Alrighty, we'll hold short of Echo once.
3318, runway 24 right, altimeter 2976, taxi Echo and Bravo.
24 right, Echo Bravo for Air Canada 3318. Alrighty, Echo and Bravo. So, new taxi plan. Once we turn right onto Echo, we will swing the flight controls there.
Heavy tower, hello. Let me have a look at your plot plan. I'll call you right back.
Look up.
Canada 74, stay parking.
Air Canada 74, parking at your convenience.
Canada 74, roger. Be going gate 73, so taxi on the north ramp. I will short Bravo.
Alrighty, here's Echo. We will turn right onto Echo. We'll take this all the way until it intersects Bravo. Turn right onto Bravo.
Canada 74, negative. Your gate number will be 73. For now, taxi north ramp. Hold short, Bravo 4.
Ultra Bravo 4 and taxi via...
Alrighty, flight control check. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudders. Full left. Full right. Neutral. We'll go ahead and get the auto brakes over to max. We're looking at up 1.2 units on the trim. We can turn predictive wind shear on and go ahead and do a takeoff configuration check. That all looks good. We'll go ahead and get that up so you can see where we're going there. Put you over where the real iPad would be. And we can run a before takeoff checklist. Flaps, one planned, one indicated. Takeoff data and speeds are all checked. Our weight, looking at 137.4. And we're planning on other way. 137.3, that looks good enough to me. Stab trim. 28.3%, 28.3% flight controls are checked. DCAM memo. Take off, no blue. We are to the line.
Give way to the Air Canada 320 on the north ramp. They're at your, let's say, 5-ish o'clock right now, and then north ramp short of Echo.
Alrighty. So, Mike is the very first taxiway here. Or is that even simulated? I don't see Mike.
North ramp, hold short Echo.
North ramp, hold short Echo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mike isn't in here. Although the chart shows there's a Mike taxiway. That is quite alright. We'll turn right here. This is Bravo. We'll continue all the way down to the end.
To stand 7-3.
Again, I'm taxiing around. The thrust levers are just above the idle detent here, and we're barely getting 16 knots. In real life, you wouldn't even have to taxi around out of idle. Once you get the aircraft moving, you can pretty much put it right back into the idle detent, and it will start going on its own. There, I think Phoenix just needs to tweak the ground idle logic on the FSEx there, because the FSEx in real life, they take into account a lot of factors, and it will actually modulate what the idle should be, so that you don't need anything more than just breakaway thrust. Once you got breakaway thrust and start rolling, that's really all you should need on a level taxiing surface. If you're going uphill, obviously you're going to need more power. Going downhill, you're going to ride the brakes, but you know, now I'm back at idle. We'll probably start slowing down for reasons unknown. Let's see.
124, stop there.
Just stop. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and go.
That's the Bravo 4, that was not the instruction, Canada 74, so I'll have you come back around, so Canada 74.
Below the line, runway and FMS. Let's see. Put flight plan here, performance here. We have runway 24 right in the box on the screen and out the window. That's checked. Our minimum takeoff fuel, 19.7 required, 19.7 on board. Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff. Notified engine mode is norm, and our TCAS is TARA. Oh, I probably turned that on and didn't turn this on. That's what I did. Alrighty. Before takeoff checklist is complete. There we go.
Montreal 4 departure, flight plan route, runway 24 right, and squawk 6526. Departure on 12465.
Clear to Cleveland, Montreal 4, then as final 24 right, squawk 6526, departure 124.65, Air Canada 152 Heavy.
Canada 152 Heavy, read back correct, data Foxtrot, advise ready for pushback.
Alright, thanks for Flex, and I'll advise when ready, 5 minutes, 152, thanks.
Transat 982, runway 24 right, altimeter 2976, taxi X.
So this evening we're going to be heading down to Detroit. If you're just tuning in, welcome. I really do appreciate you spending your evening with me at the Eagle's Nest. We'll be setting up for my next series of days off, essentially, which will be the week of the Expo. So next week is the week of the Expo, and I plan on fully kicking off the Flight Sim Expo shuttle, just like I did to start this channel about this time last year. So should be a week of flying into and out of Providence, Rhode Island. I actually still need to go by and pick up the scenery for Providence, so that we have something to fly into and out of, and that's probably going to be the only scenery I pick up. Everything else, I'll just try to plan my flights around the sceneries that I do have there. Alrighty, approaching the end of the runway. We'll take the first turn here. We don't need to go to the second one.
Ok, donc Alpha 4, autorisé à atterrir de 4 gauche, rouge 977.
Primary 42, le boost ça va être correct aussi.
Non, on va faire Alpha 4 Primary 42.
Primary 42, Roger, donc quittez à droite sur Alpha 4, et où est-ce que vous stationnez?
Whisky, cargo Whisky 4, je crois.
Oui, Whisky 4, Whisky 5, souvent, c'est affaire pour le cargo.
Whisky 5, il y a déjà un avion AI, là, fait que je peux pas parker là, je vais prendre l'autre d'à côté.
Ok, Primary 42, Roger, dans le circuit, là, à rampe nord et à l'écart du Bravo 4, un trafic à sortir.
Rampe nord, Whisky 4, Primary 41 pour le trafic.
Rouge 823, change of plan, transition for the east line and south ramp on the
There we go.
hold the beam gate 57.
Okay, east line to the south ramp. And
Beautiful livery. Absolutely love it.
57,
It looks even better in person.
57.
It's just the silver doesn't look, I mean, in the simulator it just doesn't pop as much as it does in real life. I mean, absolutely beautiful livery.
Canada 74, you ready to continue taxi?
Canada 74, can I take Echo and then gate 49 is available?
Canada 74, affirmative. Taxi, I'll have you go via Delta, Canada 74. So taxi Charlie, Delta, and on Delta, hold short Alpha 4.
Okay, Charlie and Delta, and then gate 49. Thank you,
Canada 74, on Delta, hold short Alpha 4.
On Delta, hold short.
Oh man, this guy needs a ground controller on.
Canada 3318, you ready?
Air Canada 3318, fully ready for departure, runway 24 right.
Canada 3318, roger, contact departures when airborne, clear for takeoff, runway 24 right.
24 right. Contact departure after airborne. Clear for takeoff. Air Canada 3318. Excellent. We are cleared to go.
Was it 579, V2 right turns, north ramp,
Excellent. Final is clear. Runway is clear. Let's go ahead and line up and wait. I'll go ahead and bring the sim volume back up. There we go.
On the north ramp, we'll hold short of Echo 579.
Montreal Tower, Air Canada 152 Heavy, ready for push, Sierra 1.
Air Canada 152 Heavy, push back, facing west on the diamond line, pull forward, beam Sierra 3 parking, and advise ready to taxi.
Alright, push west, diamond line, then pull forward, beam Sierra 3. We'll let you know when you're ready. 152 Heavy, guys.
Air Canada 733 with you, ILS 24
Air Canada 733, Montreal Tower, good evening, land the taxiway Alpha 4, number 2 following 319, short final, clear to line runway 24 left.
And Alpha 4, and then clear land for left.
All right, runway is all ours. We'll spool the engines up to about 50% half down on the side stick.
Kick out the prime Americano mill.
Close at 823, follow the west at 737 ahead, north ramp, short of Echo.
There we go.
Alright, follow west.
Flex. Thrust set.
Air Canada 8944, line up runway 24 right.
80 checked.
Close at assessment, yeah, 1
31. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up.
Ok, donc,
Look at that Lufthansa A380. Oh, dude, we have a Lufthansa MD-11 taxiing in as well. Absolutely beautiful. Climb is set. The departure, Air Canada 3318 is 1,700, climbing 5,000 feet on the Montreal 4. Climb maintained 16,000, Air Canada 3318. 16 is set. Excellent. Let's go ahead and get autopilot 1 on. Bye-bye. There's the island. A fairly large. I mean, it's hard to think that Montreal itself is an island, but it is. It is technically an island. Right turn to 320, Canada 3318. There we go, 320. Let's get to the back for our flap retraction here. Beautiful. Departure is even better than it was last night. Absolutely beautiful departure. And then way off in the distance there, that is Montreal or Montreal right there. Hence the name of the city. Alright, I'll bring the sim volume back down to a more reasonable level there.
Departure lower, Canada 8944, passing 800, climbing to 5,000.
Aircraft 8944, falling for your identified, climb roll 230.
Flight level 230, Canada 8944.
Aircraft 3318, proceed direct SAVX on course.
Alrighty, direct to SAVX on course for Air Canada 3318. Alrighty, SAVX looks good. go ahead and zoom out just a little bit. Excellent. We'll go ahead and insert that. Beautiful.
Aircraft 8944, approach direct spawns on course.
Looking at the weather here in Detroit, it looks like the thunderstorm is officially over the field. They're reporting winds 260 at 27, gusting 36, 3/4 of a mile, rain and a thunderstorm. So yeah, there we go. Super fun. The real world ADAs, do they have any more information here? Nope. They don't have more information. Cool. Although the visibility in the real world ADAS says 3 miles, thunderstorms, rain, mist. So it has a little bit more information there. So should be plenty of fun heading into Detroit. No special speed restrictions here. So we'll continue our climb out. We'll get our lights off, let our flight attendants know we are done with our sterile cockpit. That is fantastic. Huh. Wonder what airport that is right there. It looks massive.
8944, go ahead. Canada 8944, we have a flight control problem with the flaps. Request to stop climb at
Mirabel. Okay. That is Mirabel Airport out there, which is just off the island. To the, I guess you would say, north and west of Montreal. I want to say, don't quote me on that, I want to say Bell has a plant there. Don't quote me on that. Could be Bell, could be Bombardier. There's a facility there where they build their airplanes / helicopters. But don't quote me on that.
Aircraft 3318, contact control center 12877.
12877 for Air Canada 3318. Have a fantastic evening. Au revoir.
What did you not understand in stop climb at 5,000?
Having trouble with the plane, the autopilot.
Ooh. That person is getting a verbal.
You're flying or your autopilot is flying?
One, two,
Yeah, so maybe on your plane.
oh my gosh.
982, climb 1616,000.
Welcome to VetSim, everyone. Montreal Center. Bonjour, Air Canada 3318 at level 16,000.
Air Canada 3318, Montreal Center, bonjour, climb level 340.
Okay, we'll climb maintain flight level 340 for Air Canada 3318. Excellent. 34, that is set. We can go ahead and we'll manage it up. Bilingual captain is back. Yes. The whole 2 words, I know. There we go. I actually am starting to get back into Duolingo. I downloaded the app like yesterday or the day before that, trying to get back into picking up some French, obviously for the big trip we have coming up here. I forgot to disarm the speed brakes. There we go. After takeoff checklist, let's see. Gear is up, no lights. The flaps are all up. Pressurization, we have diff P, so that looks good. After takeoff checklist is complete. Yeah, obviously trying to learn a little bit, just a wee bit, French before our trip later this year to Paris, France. So any little bit, definitely better than not knowing any at all. Let's go ahead and go transition standards. Said once, twice, and thrice. There we go. So yeah, Duolingo, is it the best? I mean, it's the freest option, right? So I know. I mean, you can pay for the Duolingo, like a higher version of the Duolingo that gives you, like, you know, more lives, quote unquote. If you start messing things up, then they take like a quote unquote life from you, and then you gotta like pay another life, right? So, but you can accrue, like, the more stuff you get right, you can accrue more chances. So gonna try to that, and try to learn a few things, right? Haven't really learned a lot of conversational stuff, right? Like, I can say "je suis un homme," and that's about that's I am a man. I can say that, but that's about it. So haven't gotten to any like conversational stuff yet. Just learning some basics: boy, girl, man, boy, or sorry, boy, girl, man, woman. That's what I meant to say. I am, you are, stuff like that. So I think it's just starting to lay the foundation to where you can start having more conversational French. But again, you got to know some of the basic words to have basic conversations, right? So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Why is Fly Live freaking out about our time? Everything else is looking really good there. No ground speed. Cool. Okay.
Is climbing 16,000 feet.
Entrance up, Mannery to Montreal Center, bonjour, climb level 340.
340.
Still freaking out. Okay. I might have to restart it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well... Oh no, I did not mean to do that.
Lufthansa 472, proceed direct Eclipse,
Uh,
and descend 8,000, altimeter 2976.
There we go. Is that better? Are you happier now? Yeah, there we go. The amount of times I've heard we're having issues with the autopilot on VATSIM. Oh my goodness. And then the controller coming back saying, well, we get to know how to fly your airplane. Yeah. An absolute classic there. You know, that's one of the reasons I do have service-based failures off, and it's set to real time, so it shouldn't be anything crazy. Real failures, real time, essentially. And it can be literally anything. Like, we could take off and lose an engine, but I have it, the way I have it set up to realistic, it should not do that. So, because in real life you're not losing engines all the time. You know, if people have that stuff turned on, then sure. But you know, if you're flying around, just turn all those failures off, man. You know, especially if you're on VATSIM. If you're not on VATSIM, go for it. Run the failures all you want. Because it's just you. Have all the fun you want with all the failures, but when you're in VATSIM, the controllers don't like doing simulated emergencies. They'll literally tell you, log off, do your emergency offline. We don't have time to, you know, give our full attention to you. Because in the real world, should you have an emergency, right? they're gonna. There's a whole lot more air traffic controllers that will be able to come in. Some that may be on their break. So they'll call in one or two air traffic controllers from their break, open up a new frequency, and transfer everyone over to a new frequency so that they can that one controller can focus on you if it's that big of a problem, and the controller needs to do everything they possibly can without having to worry about other airplanes. They'll get everyone off the frequency or move you to a different frequency altogether, where it'll be just one-on-one, you and the controller, so they can give you the best service they can.
8000 pieds, altimétre 2976.
Lorsqu'on prend descend 8000 pieds, on planifie la 25 pour Ottawa, altimétre 2976 à Canada pour 72.
Oh no, Toronto Center is offline. That's okay. We'll be fine. Here in a few minutes, we will be out of Montreal's airspace. Toronto Center is offline, so we'll probably switch to 122.8. Let me go ahead and pre-select that.
Jazz 782, identifié, procédé direct Raisin en route. Montée niveau de vol 230.
Direct Raisin, on monte 230, Jazz 782.
There we go. Got that set ready to go for whenever we do end up leaving Montreal Center's airspace there. So. Like I said, next week I do plan on kicking off our FSExpo shuttle flying. We'll take it from Detroit right into Providence. Probably do some Delta ops. That'd be a Delta flight. And then from there, I still have no clue. I haven't planned everything out, so I've literally planned one stream ahead. But stay tuned to see where this next week will take us. Obviously, up and down the eastern seaboard as we fly into and out of Providence, Rhode Island. We'll be showcasing the I&I builds. Providence, Rhode Island scenery there. There we go. Sorry, I didn't know if that background music was too low. Hopefully you can hear it a little bit better now. We are almost there. Once we level off, I'll pick up the speed ever so slightly. 62 knot wind directly on the nose. Fantastic. We're 33. We're at 34.
18 Montreal, correction, Toronto Center is offline. Civilian services terminated. General frequency, have a good day.
Already, frequency change is approved for Air Canada 3318. Au revoir.
Air Canada 873 demande la descente.
Alrighty, we have that set up or ready to go there. Hopefully, Detroit approach will stay online. Here. It is getting kind of later in the evening. Cleveland Center. Oh, so it'll probably be Cleveland Center first. Let's go ahead and reselect that. 1987 is what it will be. Do not need you to slow down. And let's go ahead and put a 1987. There we go. That'll be on a standby just in case they're still online. What's the largest tailwind you've ever accepted on takeoff during your instruction training days? Well, so, I mean, technically there's no limit, right? So, I mean, there is a limit, right? But, you know, past a certain limit, you become a test pilot is what they say. Just like your demonstrated crosswind component, right? In a Cessna 172 is like 15 knots or something like that. And it's called demonstrated because that's the highest wind it was demonstrated in. Can you land in a, you know, higher crosswind component? Yeah, but if you do get the aircraft off the side of the runway, Cessna's going to come back and say, why did you land above what we said the maximum demonstrated crosswind component was? So they're not going to want to pay for your airplane. Insurance isn't going to want to pay for your airplane. The FAA is going to want to give you a violation. So you don't ever want to exceed the limitations. That being said, it has been a long time since I've flown a Cessna 172. So I really couldn't say what like the maximum tailwind I used to accept in a 172. I mean, you know, I'm gonna go very conservative here and say maybe 5 knots, but I just can't remember a time where we're accepting tailwinds to land with. So that being said, you do want to land obviously flaps 30 in a 172, flaps 30, and knowing that you're going to have a higher ground speed because you do have a tailwind, you're going to have a longer ground roll, and of course all of that stuff, you kind of want to know what your ground roll is going to be with that tailwind. So get into the POH and do your landing distance calculations so that you kind of know like what to expect on your landing roll there, as well as a takeoff roll, right? So if you have a tailwind for takeoff, it's going to increase your landing roll, it's going to increase your distance over a 50-foot obstacle, all that stuff. So you want to definitely get into the POH and verify what your performance is going to be before you actually accept that tailwind. And remember, all of that is planning, right? Like, I guess you could do that in the aircraft if you're flying somewhere and suddenly there's like a 5-knot tailwind and it's a shorter runway and you're kind of worried about distances. But if you have a nice long runway and you're not really worried about distances or 50-foot obstacles, then do you really have to? I mean, you kind of already know that what your general ground roll is going to be. Outside of that, you know, you don't really need to get into the POH and calculate for every single landing what your landing distance is going to be. I mean, probably the best practice, especially if you're going to be doing some training flights, is to just assume max gross takeoff weight. And wherever you're going, whatever the least favorable wind is for wherever you're going to be going to do your takeoffs and landings, use that and calculate your ground roll and distance to clear 50 or distance to a 50-foot obstacle to clear 50-foot obstacle, I should say. And if you have that, that's your worst case scenario right there. So now you know you can accept a landing clearance as long as you got, you know, that distance ready to reference. You can accept a landing clearance with at least that much runway available to you. And if you have more, fantastic. If you don't, then you know you can't accept like a land and hold short or something like that. That's below that landing distance. Now, to take your question and apply it to a commercial or an air transport standard. What's the largest tailwind you can accept? On the Airbus, it depends, right? So you have two different limitations, 10 and 15 knots, depending if you have the wing fence or wing shark or the sharklets. And so, you know, you want to make sure you never take off above that limitation. For the most part, once you start getting to 10 knots, that's where you start drawing the line. Doesn't matter if you can go above 10 knots or not. Once you start getting to 10 knot tailwinds, that's when most people are going to start getting on the radio and complaining about the tailwind, because no one likes to land with a 10 knot tailwind, one. And two, when you're talking about stopping larger airplanes like this, and that 10 knot tailwind, it significantly increases your ground roll. So you got to be very, very much aware of what your tailwind component is when you're talking about airline transport operations. One of the worst airports for running a tailwind is Las Vegas, because once they get into a runway configuration that they like, they absolutely refuse to change that runway configuration. They'll run that tailwind as hard as they can. I have definitely been in Vegas several times where the tailwind was right around that 10 knots. And every single person that came in to land right after landing would tell the tower, you know, it's a 10 knot tailwind. You know, it's a 10 knot tailwind. You know, it's a 10 knot tailwind. You know, that's kind of like them hinting like, hey, can you please stop running a 10 knot tailwind? Like, that's not really cool, right? We don't like that. And it's very interesting because Vegas, it's not like it's New York City, right? Where they have 3, 4, 5, 6 airports in and around the greater New York metro area that they have to coordinate with whenever they need to change a runway configuration. It's just Vegas out there in the desert. But they still refuse to turn the airport around. For some reason or another, they just won't do it. Let's see. Did I turn off the fasten seatbelt sign? I have not. Let's go ahead and get that fasten seatbelt sign turned off. What does the temperature look like in the back? 70 and 72. Not bad. I like that temperature. We'll leave it there. It's a pretty comfortable temperature. Won't get any flight attendants calling up anytime soon to say if we can warm it up or cool it off. It really is very interesting, depending on what part of the country you're in. If you have a lot of people from up north, they're going to ask you to cool the aircraft down because they like it cold. They're used to the cold, right? You have a lot of people from down south, the airplane's going to be too cold all the time. So you're always having to warm it up. But from people who are from like the Miami area, right? They're always hot. So you put them on a nice cold airplane, they're going to say it's too cold on here. So I like to keep it right around that 70 to 72 mark. I did on my last trip, had a flight attendant say, can you warm it up? And I was telling her, oh yeah, well, I was saying that, you know, like I said, 72, that's a good temperature, right? It's comfortable. I was like, I got it right around 72 degrees. I can cool it off just sorry. Did I have it at 72? Yeah, it was at 72 degrees. Yeah. And I was like, I guess I could cool it off a little bit if you want. She was like, yeah, could you do 71? That'd be perfect. I was like, I can't do 71. So I don't know if anyone has ever noticed this, but the temperature only goes in 2 degree segments on the display here. So you will never be able to see 71 degrees because it won't do it. For some reason, this will show you the exact temperature that it's sending the air into the cabin, right? So it's sending slightly warm air into the forward cabin, slightly cold air into the aft cabin. But here, the cabin temperature only reads in 2-degree increments. So I said, I can't do that. I can only see 70 or 72. So that's just a little Airbusism right there. You'll never be able to set 71 degrees. It is what it is. Now, I don't know if, let's say, you're in an Airbus, let's say we're in a European carrier, right, where everything's in Celsius. Is that why there's only 2 degrees increments? Is Celsius in 1 degree increments? I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you if that's true or not. And I'm not going to sit here and BS you and tell you that that's 100% a fact. I don't know. So I do know in Fahrenheit, though, it only goes in 2 degree increments. Just like our weight and fuel. If you notice, the weight and fuel will go in 20-pound increments. This last digit never is not a 0. Let me put it like that. This last digit is never not a 0. That double negative. But it's true. So you saw it go from 60 to 40 right there. So it moves in 20-pound increments. So this is always 0. This moves in 2 number increments, so 2, 4, 6, 8, and this one will be able to move. All the other ones move in 1 degree increments. So it's interesting how Airbus has all of this stuff set up. Who is, Toronto Center apparently got online, 2577. So let's go ahead and contact them. 2577. If I can actually tune that correctly. There we go.
Westjet 579, you're also identified. The information is whiskey.
Copy information, whiskey 579.
You can expect from reserve success.
We'll expect 6 right for WestJet 579.
Air Transit 92 is cruising flight level 340.
German Cargo 442, you're identified. Descend 6,000. It's on altimeter 2980.
6,02980, German Cargo 442.
Sounds up 32, the wind's calm, so the land when there's a 6 9.
Okay.
Air Transat 32, you're clear to land when there's a 6 9.
Clear to land runway 06, right Transat 32.
German Cargo 442 Heavy, what approach you planning?
We've got the ILS.
Man, his microphone does not sound like it's the best. Hello, Center Canada 3318, flight level 340.
Canada 3318, Toronto Center, left down.
Did he say squawk ident? I think he did.
Air Transit 982 is cruising flight level 340, approaching top of descent.
Canada 982, Toronto Center, good evening, squawk it in.
Okay, he did.
3318 is identified.
Excellent. We are identified. Absolutely beautiful.
Good day, Toronto Center, WestJet 61 Lima at flight level 350.
Now, Max Racing, one of the things that I absolutely love doing with my students back when I was instructing is on some of those really bad, gusty crosswind days, we'd take the airplane out, find a runway that had a crosswind, and Just stay in the pattern and just keep practicing those crosswind landings, right up to the aircraft limitation. All right. I always wanted my students to experience landing in the stiffest crosswind they could, just so that they got a very, very, very good understanding of how to decrab the aircraft and round out and flare when the winds are that stiff. And the students I flew with, they always enjoyed it. They because once you do it, you kind of have a newfound respect for what the aircraft is capable of doing, and you feel a lot more confident, right? So if I take you up in a 13-knot crosswind and show you how to land, and we just practice, getting 7-8 landings in with a 13-knot crosswind. When you go up in a 5-knot crosswind, you know exactly what you need to do. So it makes it easier for you to fly the aircraft after you know how to apply it in the worst case situation, right? So you know the mechanical skill, and now you get to apply it at the airframe limitation, and when it's not nearly as high, that mechanical skill translates to better crosswind approach, better decrabbing technique, round out, flare, all of that stuff. So it does give you a huge confidence boost, as well as making you I don't want to say a better pilot, but I mean, essentially, yeah, it's making you a better pilot in terms of where your personal limit is and what the aircraft's limit is, because until you experience the aircraft's limitation in real life, you don't really know what your personal limit is, right? Is it 5 knots? Is it 4 knots? Is it 8 knots? Everyone's got to have a personal limit. And when the weather is outside of what your personal limit is, that's when you should call it, cancel the flight, whatever it is, postpone the flight, delay the flight, whatever it is, because you'd much rather do that than exceed your personal limitation and find yourself unable to get the aircraft safely back on the ground. So I guess that's my little nugget of advice there, is have a personal limitation. Once you have that personal limitation, don't exceed it, unless you're with an instructor, right? So if you're with an instructor and their personal limitation is higher than your personal limitation, then go for it, because they know what they're doing, and now they're trying to instill that knowledge into you. But never exceed your personal limitation without having someone beside you that has a much higher grasp and understanding of their own personal limitation and what they are capable of doing.
German cargo 442 heavy, turn right, sliding 330.
Right, 330, German cargo 442.
Sandra 32, what gate do you possess this evening?
Looking to get gate.
Ooh, yeah. Let me
20, Transat 32.
let me see what gate Air Canada parks at.
Charlie now, Charlie Alpha and Alpha Juliet.
Charlie Alpha and Alpha Juliet to the apron, Transat 32.
Ooh. Yeah, the real life flights are getting canceled and delayed
1000 our discretionary, Canada 935.
because of that weather there. It looks like Jazz has canceled their flight for today.
What's the 61 Lima, Toronto?
Delta 24. Okay, so they park at D gates. Alrighty, that's where we will park. Delta 24. Which is, yeah, D24. That's all the way, okay, on the north side of the airport there.
Squawk 0566, what's the 61 Lima?
What's the 61 Lima?
Endeavor is currently en route. Delayed. Looks like they were held on the ground. They left an hour and 1 minute late, and that shows them landing 3 hours and 37 minutes behind schedule. All inbound flights are being held at their origin until 9:45 Eastern Time. Arrival delays for airborne aircraft, an average of 1 hour and 10 minutes, and increasing departure delays of 55 minutes and increasing. So Endeavour looks like they took off. When did they take off? 6:16 departure time. So in real life, Endeavour flying a CRJ 900 just crossed over into Toronto's FIR. What?
090 to intercept 06, right approaching, clear for the island 06, right approach, German cargo 442.
Heading right into it. Hopefully, it's awesome that we don't have a radar, but that's okay. I guess we'll do things based on. Go ahead and turn that on, turn that off. We'll do things based on, I guess, what we see out the window. How about that? Since we really don't really have a way of.
7,000 air chairs at 982.
Yeah, these knobs literally do nothing. We'll leave that in calibrated, and these knobs literally do nothing. So. It is what it is. I guess I could do manual and ground clutter suppression. We'll turn that to auto, but I mean, it still doesn't do anything. We'll leave everything in auto. How about that? And if it paints something, then it'll paint something. But the radar does not work in the Fenix. So I don't even know why I'm trying. The INI builds has a semi-working weather radar. We'll go ahead and zoom that in. Actually, let's go ahead and bring up our tablet. And let's look at the Top Gun arrival here. Top Gun arrival says 280 is the set transition speed. Performance over 280 knots. There we go. Excellent. So we have BOPTA, then JB. Go plan 10 nautical miles. BOPTA. Go ahead and turn the LS push buttons on. Excellent. So we have BOPTA, JB, then Goose, Wolfman, at or above flight level 240, 280 knots. That looks good. Then Mav, I do not know why I just tried to drag that screen. That was silly. Then Top Gun between 11 and 14, 280 knots. 11, 14, 280 knots. Hollywood is between 8 and 10. Then Chester is 7,000. Is it Chester or Jester? I thought his call sign was Jester, but that's me. And then we have Ghost at 7,210 knots. So that looks good. And a Raider 7,210 knots. Then we have a manual leg from there. Let's take a look at the approaches. 2-1 left is what it's going to be. So they do have a transition from Raider. I might put that in. Put that in. If not, well, I can always put it in later. Yeah, I can always put it in later. So it'll be Raider at 210 knots, 7,000 feet. Then Toffee's at or above 5,200. Gives at or above 5,000. Count at or above 5,000. Kaylee Nope. Tigers at or above 5,000. Then Robbie. I cannot see that. Is at or above 5,000.
442 heavy, cross runway 06 left.
Then Ballas at or above 4,000. Sorry. Nesby at or above 3,000. Puckle at or above 2,000. From Puckle to the runway. 245 miles, 3-degree glide slope. 4 miles here, round it down, and a 3-degree glide slope. For the missed approach, climb to 1100, then a climb left turn to 4,000. Outbound on the Detroit. I think that's the XO, yeah. Detroit 122 to gauge and hold, and we'll continue the climb there and the hold. So that's going to take us to the east of the airport there. That looks good.
Transat 32, we just overshot Alpha Juliet completely, so is it okay if we turn right on Alpha Tango?
Uh-oh, someone's about to get a verbal lashing now. Well, surprisingly chill controller. All right. There we go. You don't always hear that. Alrighty, so we checked our route. Nav IEJR 111.5. Front course is 216. That looks good, and a 3-degree glide slope. We just briefed that, so that all looks good there. Progress will go Detroit. Runway 21 left. We'll throw that in there. Performance approach page here. Let's go ahead and look up what the weather is now. Edis Vatsim 246. Okay, not bad. I'll take that. .240 The temperature is 20 degrees. And the altimeter is 2976. Our minimum's 832.
8,000 Air Canada 935 heavy.
Now, if it starts getting crazy gusty there, then I'll probably do a flaps 3 landing, but no real reason to do a flaps 3 landing unless it's super gusty. Let's see, we want 2976. I can go ahead and set that here. Oh, that's what it is already. All right, cool. Not much change in the altimeter there. 2976 set thrice. Let's go ahead and do a arrival briefing, shall we? We'll look over here, ask our ghost FO if he has any threats. Yeah. The big anvil tops out there is the biggest threat, and we don't have a radar. Yeah, we'll just pretend that thunderstorms are there, and we'll make our way in. We have reviewed their arrival here. I'm going to go ahead and hide that. Our first restriction is going to be Wolfman at or above flight level 240 and 280 knots. The bottom side is going to be Raider at 7,210 knots. Plan on doing the ILS to runway. Oh, I didn't pin the chart. Wow, silly me. All right. 21 left. ILS. There you go. Yeah, there we go. We'll plan on doing the ILS to runway 21 left. It's going to be Charlie 11-5 dated 4 October 19. The frequency is going to be 101.5, final approach course 216. The Puckle's at 2000. DA is going to be 832. Touchdown zone is 632. The MSA around the Detroit VR 2800 feet all quadrants. We'll use full flaps, low water brakes if we need to go miss. Plan on doing a soft go around. Assigned, well, no, the published, we'll do the published miss, which is a climb to 1100, then a climbing left turn 4000 outbound on the Detroit 122 to gauge and hold. Let's check our notes here. Radar required for procedure entry. Okay. I think the radar is working down there. Excellent. That's the only real note of importance there. A 30-degree glide slope. Pappy is on the left with Mauser lighting. And when we do land, plan a left-hand, or sorry, right, going right off the runway. Right-hand turn off on Whiskey 2 or Juliet, and then probably like Juliet. I don't know how we're going to get there. Juliet or down to the ramp and then the ramp back north, or Juliet and Whiskey or Papa. And then we can like cross somewhere down here and then continue in. Long taxi in once we do get there. So it is what it is. Anything else you want to add to that? Excellent. Got our chemtrails on.
United 1756, speed 160 knots or better until stable.
160 knots or greater until stable for United 1756.
Seabird 8073, fly present heading, vector final descend 3000.
Fly present heading, vector final 3000. Signature speed.
Guns at 982, I show you on the arrival for runway 05. Confirm you want 05 or 06?
I was looking at how many JetBlue liveries I have. I have like 1,000 JetBlue liveries on this thing. JetBlue has so many special liveries. I also saw an article today saying that they're going to be retiring, I think, 4 of their oldest A320s. So they're going to be, I don't know if they're just going to be parking them. They'll keep them on the certificate and just park them, or if they're actually going to send them out to the desert for retirement. So we'll see. Heard the engine spool up there, so thought something was going on. We're approaching Cleveland Center.
United 1756, clear to land, runway 06.
Clear to land 06 right, United.
There we go. Have some sort of information on our screen other than just one waypoint.
Station calling is unreadable. The push to talk works, but there was no port.
You said yes, they do. They need to put them in a museum. 100%. There's definitely JetBlue's not the only one out there. American definitely needs to take their A320s out to the graveyard and light them on fire is what they need to do. Those interiors are so worn on those airplanes. Yeah, I think the article was saying like it's maybe just cheaper for them to park the aircraft permanently versus retrofit it with the new interiors that they have on there, which are amazing interiors, by the way.
Roger, push and start. My discretion, calling for taxi Air Canada 470.
Seabird 8073, turn right, fly heading.
But I mean, right now JetBlue just doesn't have the money to justify retrofitting their oldest airplanes with the newest cabin interiors. So they were doing that, and I think they delayed taking delivery of their newest Neos by another year or two, trying to trying to slide that debt a little further down the road there as they reorganize and try to get back to profitability. So we will see how the United thing goes there. I would anticipate the DOJ doing the same thing they did with American and JetBlue, and that whole alliance they had, getting blocked. I would anticipate that happening, but I don't know. I don't know how United and JetBlue are going to proposition themselves in front of the court as to why this is going to be way better for the consumer than if either airline did not cooperate and kind of code share and stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll see. We are quickly approaching our top of descent. Yeah. He's probably definitely unaware of
Canada 3318, Cleveland Center is offline, so they are terminate and it's on the public division.
Already, frequency change is approved for Air Canada 3318. Thanks for the ATC. I literally just saw they must have just everyone's getting offline, so the only one that's left online is ground in Detroit. Okay, we're on our own. Let's go ahead, and if that's gonna be the case, here's what I'll do. I will go ahead and connect everything up here. Approach vias, writer, insert. Insert. You wouldn't have to do that because we didn't change anything right in front of us. The only time you really need to pull heading is if it's the fix immediately in front of you. If it's further down the line, you shouldn't have to do that. There we go. So let's see. Buckle, 2,000 feet. Set a manage. Nope. Manage speed. Stop it. Manage speed. There we go. Excellent. Let that start slowing down. Once that starts slowing down. Excellent. Let's go ahead and do a manage descent. Beautiful. That is incorrect. It would not try to do 280 right now. It would try to pin it right just about where it is, 270. And then as we descend, the aircraft should slowly start speeding up till you hit 280 knots. Minor issue. Everything else works so well on the aircraft. I'm not gonna be upset about that. They say it's everything but a code share. Yeah, I mean, let's call it what it is. Let's call it a duck. It's a code share agreement. But yeah, like you said, it's really going to depend on how they proposition themselves in front of the court, right? So if they can convince the court that this is better in terms of the American traveling public versus those two carriers operating completely independent, then I'm sure the court will approve it. If they can't prove that, then I suspect the DOJ will do what they did with the American JetBlue alliance, what they did with the JetBlue Spirit merger, and just flat out knock it down. So we will see. I don't know how much United really needs this. If anything, I think United is in it for the JFK slots. I think that's really what they're in it for, because JetBlue is huge in JFK. I would say arguably that is a JetBlue hub. I mean, we know it's a hub. It is a JetBlue hub. And then you have all the other. So domestically, you have JetBlue, and then you have all the other carriers essentially that go international. That's essentially what JFK is an international hub and then a JetBlue base. That's, I'm gonna call it how I see it. And so I think United is definitely in it for the JFK slots. Ooh, yeah, we are approaching the weather. Radar. Yeah, it looks like that squall line is right at Top Gun. Once we get past Top Gun, we're on the backside of the weather. But if you look outside right now, it does not look like that bad. So we will see. I'll keep an eye on the weather here. Looks beautiful out right here. What is this? Lake Erie? Beautiful shot. You can see some rain right there. A little bit of rain. I think for the most part we're gonna be below everything. I really do think so. I mean, okay, maybe not, because Top Gun is between 11 and 14, so maybe we won't be below everything, but it doesn't look that bad. I mean, it looks bad, but it doesn't look that bad. I mean, this is what we got right in front of us. Oh man. So we'll just punch right through this and then keep going, since we have a super amazing weather radar. And you never really want to like vector yourself around by using, you don't really want to use this to vector yourself around, because this isn't up to date, right? This could be 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes old. So this data is old. That's why you want to rely on the weather radar in terms of vectoring, because like I said, I could just turn right and we could head up, back around, and come down on the ILS into Detroit, but going south is not an option unless you go all the way down here. So what is this? That is Huntsville. Awesome. So you got to go all the way down to almost Huntsville, Alabama to get on the backside of the weather. Or you can go all the way north into like central Michigan there, and then come back around and down. Are you trying to end up on a pilot debrief? My name is Hoover, and this is your pilot debrief. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Right? We're at +8. Yeah. what's the worst that could happen? Engine anti-ice is on, and so is ignition. So there we go. CFMs are pretty resilient too. Engines, unlike the IEs that have ignition turned on every time you turn on the anti-ice, or anytime the flaps are not in the up position, the ignition is on. So on the IE. So that's one little tiny little small difference there between the IEs and the CFMs. Alrighty, we are in the thick of it. So it says, well, no, we're not even in the thick of it yet. This is just green. Let's go ahead and transition to 976. That is set once, twice, and thrice. We'll go ahead and get the fast seatbelt sign on. There we go. That all looks good. Let's do a descent checklist. Alrighty, altimeters 2976. The auto brake is low. Perf approach page is set. Arrival briefing is review Top Gun 2 arrival. ILS to runway 21 left, and our status is checked. The descent checklist is complete. I can hear him faintly saying, but the pilot still decided to press on and continue through the weather. He didn't know it then, but he only had 5 minutes to... I'm doubting that Microsoft Weather is actually painting this line, because this is not what it looks like on the radar. I can tell you that right now. We got this on the radar, so we haven't even entered anything crazy yet, and it's like clear skies out here. Alright, flight sim. Let's go ahead and pause our in-flight music there. And that's how I know, Max Racing, we are on the same YouTube algorithm. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. You would never think there is a squall line of thunderstorms directly in front of me. I'll still leave the... we're at plus 15 now. I don't need this, but I'll leave the ignition on. So that'll work. That restriction is made. 280 knots. It looks like we have a decel point here for 10,000 feet and 250 knots. So we'll probably start slowing at 250 knots there. What I'll do, since the Airbus, for some reason in the Fenix, it wants to descend to 10,000 feet and then slow to 250 knots while still descending. So at about 12,000 feet, I'll bring the speed back to 200. I'll take control of the speed and bring it back to 250 knots. And that should work out perfectly fine. The convective activity in this area, but yeah, and that's the other thing. We didn't get one bit of it has been delta smooth this entire time. So, and I do have turbulence on. I think I have it on like medium or something like that. I don't have it set to like something insanely high. I think the only thing I don't have on is the icing. Let's go ahead and take control of the speed now. Because you will not slow to 250 knots if I don't. Is the icing, because in the Fenix, even though I think they fixed it, but even in the Fenix, when you start accumulating ice, it will fall right out of the sky. It had that issue in Flight Sim 2020, so I turned the icing off in 2020, and I don't know if I have it on here in 2024. But yeah, there's no bueno. The icing, it was absolutely terrible. Flight attendants, prepare for landing. Oh, yeah. Let me go ahead and... How far out are we? Yeah. Yeah, I'll start it now. Let's go ahead and get the replay going. Shall we? Where's... There we are. I have 2 of these, apparently. Yep. There we go. Start the recording. Yep. And we are recording. Excellent. You said 45 minutes past the hour. Watch out for the hourly weather update. Ooh. Well, but we don't have any VATSIM controllers online, so the VATSIM weather is not correct. Oh, well, yeah, they do have a ground controller, so it could be correct. But update here 7 minutes ago. Papa special 170 at 8, 9 miles, light rain, scattered 1,000, broken 5,000, overcast 10,000, 20 over 19, 2977 is the meter. Set once, set twice, and set thrice. There we go. Performance. Let's go ahead and activate the approach phase. Excellent. 2977. We set 20 degrees and the winds are 170 at 8. There we go. Yep, that should still be mostly a headwind. There we go, leveling off at 7,000. Let's go ahead before the engines begin spooling up. We'll just bring that speed right back down to 210 knots. Let's see. I need to get the CTAF, don't I? So I need CTAF for Detroit, Michigan, and 35.0. Let me go ahead and tune 35.0 in. There we go, 35.0. Crank that up. Okay, my guy. That would actually make this a little bit brighter, but that's okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna just switch on over now. Excellent. We're VFE next minus 10, so let's go flaps 1. Speed is verified. Looking fantastic right now. Bring the range down to 10 nautical miles. I'll arm the approach once we are established inbound. we should begin our next step down descent here just after Ryder. Let me go ahead and bring up the approach chart so you can see there. Excellent. Beautiful. There we are on the approach. That's us coming in. I'll keep 210 knots for a little bit since we are pretty far out. I don't want to slow us up too early, too far out. Maybe around Tigers, I'll consider slowing us down to about 190 knots maybe. Or maybe 180. That way I can go flaps 2. Don't have to worry about trying to get the flaps out while descending on the glide slope. I think we've passed most of the bad weather. I'm going to go ahead and turn ignition back to off there.
Go back at 97 Sierra, vacate 22 right Alpha 3 of the ground.
Yeah, that's right. They do have a ground control frequency on. 21.8 is what it's going to be. So we'll go ahead and select that. Excellent. So once we're at 5,000, we're pretty much going to be here for the duration all the way to Tigers. So that's going to be excellent. I can do a nice easy slow down. Shouldn't be anything crazy. I'm not going to have to struggle to slow the aircraft down once we get the Tigers. I'll just go ahead and, or even Robbie. Yeah, it's Robbie. Robbie's at 5,000 feet. So we'll continue chugging along until we get to Robbie. Then I'll slow it up to 180 knots. On a 4-mile final, that sounds about right. Let's go ahead and arm up the approach. That is on Cat 3 dual low capture. Detroit traffic. Air Canada 3318 is on a 23-mile final. 2-1 left. Detroit traffic. Hazy down here, that's for sure. Excellent. See Robbie coming up. So a few miles prior to Robbie, I'll begin that slow down to 180 knots. We'll get flaps 2 out. Hopefully right just as we're intercepting the glide slope, I can get flaps 2 out. That is the game plan. I like to kind of coordinate that. Even in real life, I like to kind of coordinate the flaps 2 with the glide slope intercept. Just before you intercept the glide slope. Because flaps 2, since you have, right now there's no flaps out. And when you go from flaps 1 to flaps 2, the trailing edge flaps will go from 0 to the 2 position all in a few seconds. So you get a nice ballooning effect that will balloon you right into the glide slope and you can come right on down. So that is generally how I like to do it when we're flying the line. Very, very hazy right now. I doubt this is what it really looks like. So glide slope's coming in. Let's go ahead and slow it down to 180 knots. I did not see that the glide slope was coming down like that. Absolutely perfect. Flaps 2 speed verified. That flaps 2 is going to give us a balloon right into the glide slope. There it is, glide slope capture. We can go ahead and set our missed approach altitude. It's going to be 4,000 feet. There we go. 4,000 feet is set. Detroit traffic, Air Canada 3318, 15-mile final, runway 21 left, Detroit traffic. Excellent. We have a 31 knot headwind right now. Absolutely nuts. Hopefully it starts dying down here soon. Get rid of you real quick. There we go. This is a large area, whatever this is. Kind of reminds me of a cemetery, but maybe it's just a nice park. Yeah. Or a new neighborhood. Maybe it's a new neighborhood. There's the runway, way out there. Excellent. Well, the runway's in sight, continuing. Detroit traffic, Air Canada 3318, 10-mile final, 21 left, Detroit traffic. Did I miss something about Detroit? Did I say a wrong city? What's the next leg going to be? So from here, I do go back on call tomorrow, so I won't be streaming for the rest of the week, but I'm off starting Monday. So, Monday, we're going to go Detroit to Providence. Tuesday is going to be a turn and burn, probably Providence to Washington, D.C. and back. Doing probably some American ops. So we'll do Delta out of Detroit. We'll do American turn and burn. Maybe some JetBlue ops. Maybe we do Providence to Buffalo as JetBlue. I have no clue after that. I've gotten to turn and burn Tuesday, and that's about it. There we go. Let's go ahead and drop the gear down. VPNX minus 10, flaps 3, speed verified. And we're VPNX minus 10, flaps full before landing checklist. Altimeters, we have 2977 and 1900. Engine mode is norm. Landing gear is down and 3 green. ECAM memo, landing no blue before landing checklist is complete. Stable. Look at ground speed mini with this 25 knot headwind. Wowza. Detroit traffic, Air Canada 3318 is 5-mile final, 21 left, Detroit traffic. Excellent. I guess this is as good as it's going to get here. Sim volume's coming up. See you on the ground. Autopilot's off. Whoa, there we go. Stable target, we're sinking 1,000. I'm correcting back up.
100 above. Minimum. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Retard.
Firm landing, but we're here. Deployed. That didn't jump the gate there. That's okay. Alrighty, 80. $60 manual braking. We'll go ahead and roll it down to the next intersection. Nice firm landing there. I was trying to hold off on bringing the thrust levers to idle because I could hear the engine spooling up and spooling down and spooling up and spooling down. But the flare logic in this airplane got me once again. That's okay. Alrighty, let's go ahead and vacate here to the right. The ground, but the little map up there. Detroit traffic. Air Canada 3318 is clear of runway 21 right on Juliet. We'll be going over to ground. Detroit traffic. Ground is still up, so there we go. We'll just switch on over. The ground. Air Canada 3318 is clear of 21 right on Juliet.
Air Canada 3318, Metro Ground, good evening. I'm assuming with the north ramp.
Affirmative.
Air Canada 3318, taxi to the ramp via Juliet Kilo, cross runway 9 left at Kilo.
Alrighty, we'll taxi Juliet and Kilo. We'll cross 9 left at Kilo for Canada 3318. Thanks for the ATC tonight. Hopefully have a great night. Alrighty. Flaps up. Excellent. Get that radar off, please. Thank you. There you go. I need you and taxi. And let's go ahead and get that APU started. I'll bring this in volume back down. Excellent.
Attention all stations, information Romeo is now current. The Metro altimeter 2976.
2976. Why should I even bother updating the altimeter? But there we go.
Northwest 2110, Metro Tower is offline. Monitor CTAF 135 point nothing. Have a nice
Let's see. I said gate 24, so
Thanks for being here tonight.
Is it the D24? I already forgot what it is. Let's see. Yeah, D24. So D and 24. Go ahead and get that going. Nope, don't need to follow me. Okay, whatever. We'll do that. Do not care. Excellent. Let's see. In gusting headwinds like that, can having auto throttle engaged put you at risk of compressor stall? No. No, that won't happen. Like I said, I know I had a buddy that had one recently, but different airplane. I have. It's not like it doesn't happen, because it can happen. Airbuses have had compressor stalls before. Those are just insanely rare events. You don't really get compressor stalls a lot. And if you were going to have a situation where you were worried about the engine remaining lit, then you would turn ignition back on, is what you would do. But otherwise, The engines are very, very, very reliable. Very reliable. You'll almost never have to worry about a compressor stall or engine failure for that matter. Yeah, dummy thick had one. Yep. Yep. So like I said, insanely rare. Not like it can't happen, but it's insanely rare that would happen. Again, lots of moving parts on a jet engine. And I suspect what had happened was a VSV did not move at the correct time. And because of that, airflow got disrupted going through the engine. And there you go. You have a compressor stall. Is that a Finnair? Or not Finnair, Iceland Air? I saw their 321 Neos on my last trip as well. Beautiful airplanes. If that's a... Oh, no, that's an Alpaca, isn't it? Yeah, it's Alpaca. Is it? And they're gone. Just like that, they're gone. Oh, well. No. He's a 737 pilot. Nice short taxi we got here. So we'll take Kilo pretty much straight in all the way to the ramp here. Kilo takes us all the way to the north side. So that is where we will park, since that is where they park in real life. So in the fog, these terminals look really weird. That's the one thing about Flight Sim 2024 is like the fog effect when it's like trying to do it around glass. It's just super weird. But that's okay. I love Flight Sim 2024, even with all of its imperfections. Great flight, enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Max Racing. Hopefully you got a little bit of studying done this evening. Is it the written test that you're preparing for, or are you preparing for the final eval? Are you getting close to your check ride, or are you just now getting ready to get to your cross countries? We will see you next week, Max Racing. Thanks for joining the Eagle's Nest this evening. Alrighty, we are clear on the left. We are clear on the right. We are cleared to cross. Other way. You seem to be on call a lot. Do you choose not to hold a line? No, I am not a line holder. So that is what it is. I'll get there one day, just not today. Written test. Okay, not bad. Written test and cross-country prep. Yeah, cross-countries, like when you start doing the cross-countries, that's the fun flying. Everything you lead up to, because that's what flying's all about, right? Going from one place to another place, landing, and saying and giving yourself a nice little pat on the back. You did it. You're in a new city somewhere, so it's that's really what it's all about. So once you get to the cross country stuff, it's tons of fun, and then you're gonna get to do it solo. That's even more fun. So, like I said, I don't know. It seems like it's been about a year since I said it, but like you're gonna learn so much more when you're flying across the country by yourself versus when you have an instructor right beside you. So that's just how it is sometimes. Yeah, let's take it in at Echo. Why not? And we want gate 24, which is pretty far north, it seems like. It's probably right beside this American. All right, I can get rid of you. Really? It's gonna be that difficult to see. All right, we're getting there. That looks like 21, 23, and right beside 23 is 24. So it is right beside this American. Well, lucky guess. All right. Go ahead and get that light turned off before we make our turn in. My dude is there waiting on us, waving us in. Close enough. Or should I move up just a little bit? He's freaking out. Let's see if I can move up a little bit. There we go. There we go. Got to get it within that 2 feet or whatever it is. Excellent. So we are here. Let's go ahead and turn off the fasten seatbelt sign. APU is available, so we can go ahead and turn off engine 2 and as well engine 1. Go back up top, get our fuel pumps off. Beacon light can come off. That way we can start initiating the... Oh. Do you hear that? It's playing Gangnam Style. Okay, that's the first time I've ever got that. That's awesome. Alrighty. I did not know it was playing. I don't know if you could hear that, but it was playing Gangnam Style when he was doing that whole thing. That's hilarious. Alrighty, let's see. Let's check our oil. That looks good. Hydraulics are in the fill range. Their status is checked, and we still have 1800 psi. Let's go ahead and do a shutdown checklist. Parking brake is on and checked. Engine masters are off. Engine mode norm, speed brake disarm, radar is off, wind shear, PWS is off. Our fuel pumps are all off. Slides, 4 of them are disarmed, and the APU is on. Excellent. Let's go ahead and we can disconnect from the VATSIM network and begin. Let's just shut down our APU in general. Don't know why this is doing this. I wonder if FrameGen is being silly. There we go. At any rate, thank you for the ATC. We will go ahead and log off VetSim. Bye-bye, airplane. We can end our replay as well, if I can find where the thing is. There we go. We can stop our recording. Beautiful. And hopefully we can get our frames back. I would like to get my frames back, please. There we go. We get rid of Fly Live. Let's see, did I get any of my frames back? Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. Maybe this airplane was taking up all of the frames. I don't know why. It would be taking up so many frames, but it is what it is. There we go. I'll bring the volume of the simulator down a little bit more. That exterior volume is kind of loud. Get our turn music going there. And while we finish unloading the aircraft, I'm going to go downstairs, get a little bit more sweet tea, and I will be right back. There we go. Nothing like some good sweet tea. I do like how the little baggage train there, like they try to stay away from the wing. You see how it like the baggage cart's like trying to turn away instead of just keep going straight right underneath the wing. And in real life, they try to avoid the wing at all costs. Now the thing with the A319 is there's no room between the belt and the engine nacelle. So usually with the belt up, you gotta walk underneath the belt to get to the other side. Or behind the engine. Unless you're small enough you can fit right there. It's really hard to do. There we go. Oh, look at the heat blur from the APU. Beautiful. All right, let's see if they're done boarding from the inside here. I don't think they're quite done boarding, but maybe so. I don't hear anyone. Yep, flight attendant's gone. That means they're done deplaning. Alrighty. Oh, that's kind of cool. I just noticed that I like that. Nice little touch there. Alrighty, let's go ahead and activate the... Don't know what this person is doing over here. Just giving that person a workout over there, I guess. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and load states. Ready. Activate. There we go. Wait for the gray bars to disappear here. Getting there. You can do it. There we go. Excellent. Of course. I gotta go in here. There we go. Now everything is looking good. Oh, suddenly there's a weather update and it is pouring rain. So the replay is going to look a lot different than when we actually landed. That's quite alright. Let's go back inside. And let's go ahead and get the replay up and we'll load it. Number 1, open.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Alrighty. Let's I started this replay kind of far out. Alrighty, there we go. Won't be able to see much, but
Don't sink.
there we go. There's the runway.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
That was no float right on the 1,000 footers. Absolutely zero float right on the 1,000 footers. I'll take it though. Nice firm landing, no fluting. You know, with a headwind like that, with that headwind being the way it is, you would more than likely end up fluting it, because ground speed MIDI is giving you all that extra speed. There's no way the aircraft would just drop straight out of the sky. So I don't know. There's still a little bit of tuning that needs to go on with the 319s. Now the 320 and 321, like, look how aggressive that flare was, and there was absolutely no float. Let's go back. Let's watch that from the outside again. How aggressive that flare was, and I didn't even float it. I just flare, boom. Okay. Like I said, with ground speed mini being the way it is, you would definitely have a lot of extra airspeed that you're carrying into your flare. So you would definitely, I would have expected to float it at least another few stripes. It's a headwind, so you're not going to float it nearly as far as if you had a weak headwind. But I would have expected it to float a little bit more than that. But that is quite all right. So what we'll do is we'll do this. Bring back the yeah. There we go. I mean, I love that drone shot simply because it does not matter how bad the landing was. That drone shot just makes your landing look so amazing. Alrighty, we'll get the over the number shot. About right, yeah, let's call it right here. There we go. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and roll that back. I'll get the drone set up right back on the airplane again. Beautiful. Let's go back inside for the last replay here. We'll head back up front. There we go. I will let that replay play on out. We will get a nice little breakout here for our final replay. Absolutely. This is what it should have looked like when I was flying in. I don't know why it looked so nice flying in, but I'd like to thank Max Racing, Sir William, Average Canadian Av Geek. thank you all very much for coming and joining the Eagles Nest this evening. I'll be back next week. We will pick up and start doing our FSExpo shuttle flying. So tune into that as we head into and out of Providence, Rhode Island, all of next week. Until I see you at the very next live stream, please do remember to take care of yourselves and each other. Enjoy this last shot. Until I see you, my name's Grey Eagle. Peace.